Single dad grabs motorcycle rider's arm, voice steel cold, touch her, and I'll end you. Blood soaking his shirt from 3 bullets, he won't let go. The hell angel stares at this dying man protecting his daughter, sees something terrifying in his eyes. This stranger just saved his little girl's life. Before you watch full story, comment below from which country are you watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. The diner smelled like coffee and old grease. Tom wiped down the counter for the 100th time that day. His daughter Sarah sat in the corner booth, doing homework. She was 8 years old, with brown hair pulled back in a ponytail. Her school bag lay beside her, covered in butterfly stickers. Tom looked at her and smiled. She was everything to him. His whole world. 3 years ago, his wife left. She said she couldn't handle being a mother anymore. She packed her bags one Tuesday morning and never came back. No phone calls. No birthday cards for Sarah. Nothing. Tom raised Sarah alone. He worked double shifts at the diner. Morning cook, night dishwasher. Whatever it took to pay rent and keep food on the table. Sarah never complained. She was a good kid. Smart. Kind. She helped other students with their homework. She saved her allowance to buy Tom a coffee mug that said, "World's Best Dad." That mug sat on the counter right now. Tom looked at it while he worked. It reminded him why he pushed through the exhaustion. Why he smiled even when his feet hurt and his back ached. "Dad, can you check my math?" Sarah called out. Tom walked over, drying his hands on his apron. He sat down across from her. The booth's red vinyl was cracked and patched with duct tape. Sarah pushed her notebook toward him. "This one's tricky," she said, pointing at a problem. Tom studied it. Math wasn't his strong subject, but he tried his best. "I think you multiply first, then subtract." Sarah's eyes lit up. "That's what I did." "Thanks, Dad." "You're smarter than me already," Tom said, ruffling her hair. "No way. You're the smartest person I know." Tom's heart swelled. These moments made everything worth it. Every late night, every aching muscle, every worried thought about money. Sarah made it all worth it. The bell above the diner door rang. Tom looked up. 3 men walked in. They wore leather jackets with patches. Skulls. Flames. Words Tom couldn't read from this distance. Their boots were heavy, leaving dirt tracks on the floor Tom had just mopped. The biggest one had a gray beard down to his chest. Tattoos covered his arms and neck. A scar ran from his eyebrow to his cheek. His eyes were cold, calculating. Behind him came a younger man with slicked back hair. He had a snake tattoo on his neck. His smile showed gold teeth. The third man was thin, wiry. His eyes darted around the diner like he was looking for exits. Or targets. "Take a seat anywhere," Tom said, standing up. He kept his voice friendly but his body tense. He'd seen men like this before. Trouble usually followed them. They sat at the counter. The big one with the beard slapped the surface. "Coffee. Black. All 3 of us. Coming right up." Tom walked behind the counter. His hands moved on autopilot, pouring coffee into 3 mugs. But his mind was alert. Watching. These men didn't come here for coffee. He could feel it. "Cute kid," the one with gold teeth said, looking at Sarah. Tom's blood went cold. "Thanks. She's doing homework. Smart and pretty. You're lucky, old man." "She's 8, Tom said, his voice flat. "A warning." The man with gold teeth laughed. "Relax. Just making conversation." Tom set the coffee mugs down hard. Coffee sloshed over the rims. He didn't apologize. The bearded man studied Tom. You got a problem, friend? No problem. Just serving coffee. Good. Because we don't like problems. Tom nodded and walked back to Sarah. Hey, sweetie. Why don't you go in the back and finish your homework? There's a desk in the office. Sarah looked at the three men, then at her father. She was smart. She understood without being told. Okay, Dad. She gathered her books and backpack. Tom watched her walk through the kitchen door. Only when it swung shut did he breathe again. The bell above the door rang again. Tom turned. His stomach dropped. Two more men entered. But these were different. One wore an expensive leather jacket with different patches. The Hell Angels logo. Tom recognized it from TV news reports. A motorcycle gang. Dangerous. Violent. But it was the person with them that made Tom's heart stop. A little girl. Maybe 9 or 10 years old. She had blonde hair in pigtails. A pink backpack shaped like a bunny. She held the hand of the man in the expensive jacket. The man was tall, muscular. His face was hard, weather-beaten. But when he looked down at the little girl, something softened in his eyes. Daddy, can I get a milkshake? The girl asked. Sure, princess. Whatever you want. They sat in a booth across from where the three men were sitting at the counter. Tom noticed it immediately. The three men at the counter exchanged looks. The bearded one's eyes locked on the little girl. Then shifted to the man in the Hell Angels jacket. Recognition. And hatred. Tom's instincts screamed danger. What can I get you folks? Tom asked, approaching their booth. Chocolate milkshake for her. Coffee for me, the man said. His voice was deep, authoritative. This was someone used to being obeyed. Coming right up. Tom went back to the counter. His hands shook as he scooped ice cream. The three men were whispering. Plotting. He could see it in their body language. The way they leaned together. The way their hands moved to their jackets. The thin man's hand rested on something inside his jacket. A gun. Tom was sure of it. He wanted to call the police. But his phone was in the office. If he went back there, he'd leave the Hell Angel and his daughter exposed. Vulnerable. Tom looked at the kitchen door. Sarah was safe back there. She wouldn't see what was coming. But this little girl in the pink backpack wasn't safe. Tom finished the milkshake. He brought it to the booth along with the coffee. Here you go. Thanks, the man said. He pulled out a $20 bill. Keep the change. The little girl sucked on the straw, her eyes lighting up. This is so good, Daddy. Not too fast. You'll get a brain freeze. She giggled. So innocent. So unaware of the danger breathing down her neck. Tom walked back to the counter. He positioned himself between the three men and the booth. He picked up a rag and started wiping the counter. Close to them. In their space. You're in the way, the bearded man said. Just cleaning. It's my job. Clean somewhere else. Tom didn't move. This is my diner. I clean where I want. The bearded man stood up. He was 6 inches taller than Tom. 40 pounds heavier. You got a death wish? No. Just doing my job. The man with the snake tattoo laughed. He's got balls. Stupid balls, but balls. The thin man's hand was fully inside his jacket now. Tom could see the outline of the gun. Sit down, Tom said quietly. Finish your coffee. Leave. Or what? The bearded man asked, stepping closer. Or I call the cops. No, you won't. Because you know what happens to people who call cops on us. Tom's heart hammered. But he didn't back down. "Try me." The bearded man reached inside his jacket. Everything happened fast. The hell angel in the booth saw the movement. He pushed his daughter down, shielding her with his body. "Get down." The bearded man pulled out a gun. Tom didn't think. He just moved. He grabbed the man's wrist, forcing the gun upward. It went off. The bullet hit the ceiling. Plaster rained down. "Run!" Tom shouted at the hell angel and his daughter. But the other two men were already moving. The one with gold teeth pulled out a knife. The thin man had his gun drawn. The hell angel grabbed his daughter and ran toward the door. But the thin man stepped in front of them, gun raised. "Where you going, Snake?" the thin man said, using what must be the hell angel's name. "We got unfinished business." "My daughter has nothing to do with this," Snake said, his voice desperate. Tom had never heard a man like that sound desperate before. "Should have thought about that before you killed my brother." Snake pushed his daughter behind him. "This is between us. Man to man. No. I want you to hurt. Like I hurt." The thin man pointed his gun at the little girl. Tom was still wrestling with the bearded man. But he saw it. Saw the intention in the thin man's eyes. He couldn't let it happen. Tom released the bearded man and lunged toward the thin man. He crashed into him just as the gun went off. Fire exploded in Tom's chest. Pain like he'd never felt. But he didn't stop. He grabbed the thin man and threw him into the counter. Another shot. This one hit Tom's shoulder. His arm went numb. "Dad!" Sarah's scream came from the kitchen. She'd heard the shots. She was coming. "Stay back!" Tom shouted, his voice breaking. The man with gold teeth came at Tom with the knife. Tom tried to dodge, but his legs weren't working right. The knife sliced across his ribs. Not deep, but enough. Blood soaked his shirt. Snake had grabbed his daughter and was pulling her toward the door. But the bearded man pointed his gun at them. Tom saw it. Even through the pain. Even with blood in his eyes. He threw himself at the bearded man. The gun went off. The bullet hit Tom in the stomach. 3 bullets. Tom had been shot 3 times. But his hands found the bearded man's gun. He twisted. The gun clattered to the floor. The bearded man punched Tom in the face. Once. Twice. Tom's vision went dark at the edges. He tasted blood. But he didn't let go. "Get out!" Tom shouted at Snake. "Take your daughter and run." Snake hesitated for 1 second. His eyes met Tom's. Understanding passed between them. Father to father. One man who would die for his child recognizing another. Snake scooped up his daughter and ran out the door. The 3 men turned their fury on Tom. The bearded man kicked him in the ribs. Tom heard something crack. Felt something tear inside. "You stupid piece of trash," the man shouted. "You know what you just did?" Tom couldn't speak. Could barely breathe. But he smiled. Blood on his teeth. Pain in every part of his body. Because Sarah was still in the back. She was safe. And that little girl in the pink backpack was alive. Running away with her father. Tom had saved her. The thin man picked up his gun. He pointed it at Tom's head. "Any last words?" Tom looked at the kitchen door. "Sarah," he whispered. "I love you." The kitchen door burst open. Sarah stood there, tears streaming down her face. "Dad." "No. Don't look, baby. Close your eyes." But Sarah didn't close her eyes. She ran to him. This tiny 8-year-old girl threw herself over her father's body. Please don't hurt him, she sobbed. Please. He's all I have. The three men stared at her. Even killers had limits sometimes. Or maybe they were just surprised. In that moment of hesitation, sirens filled the air. Someone had called the police. Maybe a neighbor. Maybe a customer who ran out earlier. We gotta go, the man with gold teeth said. The bearded man kicked Tom one more time. You're dead anyway. 3 bullets. You'll bleed out before the ambulance comes. They ran out the door. Motorcycles roared to life. Tires squealed on pavement. Sarah pressed her hands against her father's wounds, trying to stop the bleeding. Don't die, Dad. Please don't die. I need you. Tom reached up with his good hand. He touched her face. So young. So scared. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Don't talk like that. You're going to be okay. Tom coughed. Blood came up. Listen to me, baby. You're strong. So strong. Stronger than, you know. Dad, please. Whatever happens, remember, you're loved. So loved. The sirens got louder. Red and blue lights flashed through the windows. Tom's vision was fading. The diner ceiling blurred. Sarah's face became a smear of colors. But he could still hear her. His daughter. His whole world. I love you, Daddy. I love you so much. Tom smiled. Used his last bit of strength to whisper. Love you too, Princess. His hand fell. His eyes closed. Sarah screamed. Tom woke up in a hospital room. White walls. White ceiling. Machines beeping. Tubes in his arms. He was alive. His chest hurt with every breath. His shoulder throbbed. His stomach felt like it was on fire. But he was alive. Dad. Sarah's face appeared above him. Tear-stained but smiling. You're awake. The doctors said you'd wake up today. Tom tried to speak. His throat was too dry. Sarah grabbed a cup of water with a straw. She held it to his lips. He drank. It was the best water he'd ever tasted. How long? He rasped. 7 days. You had 3 surgeries. The doctors said. Her voice broke. They said you almost died twice. Tom squeezed her hand. I'm okay now. No, you're not. You're hurt so bad. Because of me. Not because of you. Never because of you. But if I wasn't there, you wouldn't have. Sarah, listen to me. Tom pulled her closer. Everything I did, I'd do again. 1,000 times. You're my daughter. Protecting you is what I do. But you weren't protecting me. You were protecting that other girl. I was protecting both of you. All kids deserve to be safe. Sarah hugged him gently, careful of his injuries. She cried into his shoulder. Happy tears this time. The door opened. A nurse came in, followed by a police officer. Mr. Patterson, good to see you awake. I'm Officer Martinez. We need to talk about what happened. Tom told them everything. The 3 men. The Hell Angel and his daughter. The fight. The shots. Officer Martinez took notes. You saved that little girl's life. The man's name is Raymond Cole. He's the leader of the Hell Angels motorcycle club. Not a good guy, to be honest. But his daughter is innocent. Is she okay? She's fine. Thanks to you. Did you catch the 3 men? Officer Martinez's face darkened. Not yet. But we will. We know who they are. The Scorpions. A rival gang. They've been at war with the Hell Angels for years. Will they come back? We don't think so. You're a witness now. They know that. They'll lay low. But Tom saw something in the officer's eyes. Doubt. These men were dangerous. They might come back to finish the job. Tom looked at Sarah. She was playing with her hands, nervous. Scared. He had to keep her safe. Whatever it took. Tom was released from the hospital. His recovery was slow. Painful. He couldn't work. Couldn't pay rent. The hospital bills were crushing. He and Sarah moved in with his sister across town. A small apartment with thin walls. But it was better than being homeless. Sarah changed schools. She didn't complain, but Tom saw the sadness in her eyes. She missed her friends. Her old classroom. Her life before everything changed. Tom felt like he'd failed her. He'd saved another man's daughter, but in doing so, he'd destroyed his own daughter's stability. One evening, Tom sat on the couch, staring at medical bills. The numbers blurred. Impossible. He'd be paying these off for the rest of his life. Someone knocked on the door. Tom tensed. He grabbed a kitchen knife from the counter. Sarah looked up from her homework, eyes wide. Who is it? Tom called out. Raymond Cole. We need to talk. The Hell Angel. The man whose daughter Tom had saved. Tom opened the door slowly, knife hidden behind his back. Raymond stood there alone. No leather jacket this time. Just jeans and a plain black shirt. He looked different without his gang clothes. Older. Tired. I'm not here to hurt you, Raymond said, raising his hands. I'm here to say thank you. Tom lowered the knife. You're welcome. Is your daughter okay? She's perfect. Because of you. Raymond's voice cracked. You took 3 bullets for my little girl. You don't even know us. I know what it's like to be a father. That's enough. Raymond pulled out an envelope. Fat with cash. This is for you. $20,000. Hospital bills. Living expenses. Whatever you need. Tom stared at the envelope. $20,000. It would solve everything. But it was drug money. Blood money. I can't take that, Tom said. Yes, you can. You saved my daughter's life. I owe you everything. You don't owe me anything. I did what any decent person would do. Raymond's eyes filled with tears. This hard man. This gang leader. Crying. No. Not any person. Most people would have run. Hidden. Protected their own kid and left mine to die. But you didn't. You put yourself between bullets and my little girl. She's a child. Children deserve to be protected. I've met a lot of men in my life, Raymond said. Hard men. Killers. But I've never met anyone braver than you. You had no gun. No backup. Just a father's love. And you fought 3 armed men. You should be dead. But you're not. Because your love for your daughter kept you alive. Tom felt tears in his own eyes. How's your daughter doing? Really? She has nightmares. Wakes up screaming. But I hold her. Tell her she's safe. And every time I do, I think of you. The stranger who gave her a future. I'm glad she's okay. Raymond pushed the envelope into Tom's hands. Please. Take it. For your daughter. She's been through hell because you saved mine. Let me help. Tom looked at the envelope. Looked at Sarah doing homework at the kitchen table. She wore clothes from thrift stores. Her shoes had holes. She never asked for anything new. Never complained. Tom took the envelope. Thank you. No. Thank you. If you ever need anything. Anything at all. You call me. Raymond handed him a card with a phone number. I mean it. You saved my world. I'll protect yours. Raymond left. Tom closed the door and sat down. He opened the envelope. $20,000. All in $100 bills. Sarah came over. Dad, what is that? It's help, baby. From the man whose daughter I saved. We can pay the hospital bills now. Yes. And you can get new shoes. Sarah hugged him. I don't need new shoes. I just need you. Tom held his daughter. This beautiful, selfless, amazing human being he was raising. You're going to have both. Life slowly returned to normal. Tom healed. The scars remained, both physical and mental. His chest ached in cold weather. His shoulder never regained full strength. But he was alive. He found a new job at a different diner across town. The pay was better. The boss was kind. Sarah's new school had good teachers. She made friends. They moved into their own apartment. Small, but it was theirs. Sarah decorated her room with posters of animals and superheroes. Tom bought that same "World's Best Dad" coffee mug for the kitchen. On a Saturday morning, Tom made pancakes. Sarah sat at the table, reading a book for school. Someone knocked on the door. Tom looked through the peephole. His heart stopped. 3 men stood outside. The bearded man. The one with gold teeth. The thin one. The scorpions had found them. Tom's blood went cold. He turned to Sarah. Go in your room. Lock the door. Call 911. Dad, what's wrong? Do it now. Sarah saw his face. She ran to her room. Tom heard the lock click. He grabbed the kitchen knife again. His hands shook. 3 armed men. He was one injured man with a knife. He couldn't win this fight. But he'd die trying. Tom opened the door. What do you want? The bearded man smiled. No warmth in it. Unfinished business. I testified against you. The police know everything. If you kill me, you'll go to prison forever. Worth it. You cost us our shot at Snake. Made us look weak. Can't let that slide. The man with gold teeth cracked his knuckles. We're gonna hurt you. Then we're gonna hurt your little girl. Make you watch. Rage exploded in Tom's chest. You come near my daughter, and I'll kill you with my bare hands. They laughed. But Tom meant it. Every word. He'd kill them or die trying. The thin man pulled out his gun. Motorcycles roared up the street. Loud. Powerful. 10 bikes. 20. More. They surrounded the apartment building. Hell angels. All of them. Leather jackets. Skull patches. Weapons visible on their belts and bikes. Raymond Cole climbed off his bike. He walked up the stairs. 30 men followed him. The 3 scorpions backed up. Fear in their eyes now. You lost? Raymond asked, his voice calm but deadly. This ain't your business, Snake, the bearded man said. Tom is my business. He saved my daughter. That makes him family. You threaten my family, you threaten me. We outnumber you. Raymond smiled. It was the most terrifying smile Tom had ever seen. No. You don't. Look around. More motorcycles arrived. Hell angels from other chapters. Other cities. 50 men. 70. They filled the street. The three scorpions were surrounded. Outnumbered 20-1. You got two choices, Raymond said. Walk away. Never come near Tom or his daughter again. Or we settle this right now. Your choice. The bearded man looked at Tom. Hate in his eyes. But also fear. This ain't over. Yeah, it is, Raymond said. Because if I see you within a mile of Tom, you disappear. All three of you. Nobody will ever find your bodies. We clear. The three scorpions backed away. They got in a car parked down the street. They drove off fast. Raymond turned to Tom. You okay? How did you know they were here? I've had guys watching your place. Making sure you're safe. You saved my daughter. I told you I'd protect yours. Tom felt tears coming. I don't know what to say. You don't say anything. You just keep being a good father. That's enough. Sarah came out of her room. She looked at all the motorcycles. All the leather-clad men. She should have been scared. But she wasn't. Are you Mr. Cole? She asked. I am. You must be Sarah. My dad saved your daughter. He did. Your dad is a hero. The bravest man I've ever met. Sarah walked to Tom and hugged him. I know. He's the best dad in the world. Raymond smiled. A real smile this time. Warm. You're lucky to have him. Just like my daughter is lucky to be alive because of him. Raymond and his men left. But Tom knew they were still watching. Protecting. For the first time in months, Tom felt safe. Sarah turned 9. Tom threw her a birthday party in their small apartment. Kids from school came. Cake. Games. Laughter. Someone knocked on the door during the party. Tom opened it. Raymond stood there with his daughter. She wore a pink dress and held a wrapped present. Sorry to crash the party, Raymond said. But Emma wanted to meet the man who saved her life. The little girl, Emma, looked up at Tom with huge blue eyes. Are you Tom? I am. My daddy says you took bullets for me. That you almost died saving me. I did what any good person would do. Not anyone, Emma said, her voice serious. My daddy says you're a hero. The best kind. The kind who doesn't have to be brave but is anyway. Emma handed Tom the present. This is for your daughter. From me. Tom took it. That's very kind of you. Sarah came to the door. She looked at Emma. Two little girls who'd both almost lost everything on that terrible day. Hi, Sarah said. I'm Sarah. I'm Emma. Your dad saved my life. He's pretty great, Sarah agreed. Emma looked at Tom, then at Sarah. Can I tell you something? That day at the diner. When those bad men had guns. Your dad stepped in front of me. He didn't know me. Didn't know my name. But he protected me like I was his own kid. My daddy cried when he told me about it. He said real men protect children. All children. Not just their own. Sarah hugged her father. That sounds like my dad. The two girls went inside to join the party. Tom and Raymond stood in the doorway. How's Emma doing? Tom asked. Better. Still has bad dreams sometimes. But she's tough. Like her old man. Raymond paused. How are you doing? Really? Good days and bad days. The scars hurt sometimes. I can't lift heavy things anymore. But I'm alive. Sarah's safe. That's what matters. You changed my life, Raymond said. Made me see things different. I'm getting out of the gang life. For Emma. She deserves a father who comes home every night. Who doesn't risk getting shot or arrested? What will you do? I bought a garage. Fixing motorcycles. Legal work. Clean money. It's not glamorous, but it's honest. Emma's proud of me. That's worth more than any reputation. She should be proud. You're making good choices. Because of you. You showed me what real strength looks like. Not guns or violence. But sacrifice. Love. Protecting the innocent even when it costs you everything. Tom's eyes got wet. I just did what felt right. That's what makes you special. For most people, doing what's right is a choice. They think about it. Calculate risks. But for you, it's instinct. You see a child in danger, you move. No hesitation. No second thoughts. Any father would do the same. No, Raymond said firmly. They wouldn't. I've seen fathers abandon their kids. Hurt them. Use them. But you. You took 3 bullets for a stranger's child. You almost died. And you don't even think it's special. That's the most amazing thing. You genuinely don't see yourself as a hero. I'm just a dad trying his best. You're the best of us. Remember that. Raymond left after the party. But he came back. Again and again. He and Tom became friends. Real friends. 2 fathers from different worlds connected by one moment of pure courage. Sarah turned 13. She was taller now. Smarter. She wanted to be a doctor. She studied hard. Made straight A's. She still had that coffee mug. World's best dad. Tom used it every morning. The scars had faded but never disappeared. Tom's chest bore 3 marks. Reminders of the day he chose another person's child over his own safety. Emma and Sarah had become friends. Close friends. They did homework together. Had sleepovers. Talked about boys and music and their dreams. One evening, Sarah asked Tom about that day. They were eating dinner. Just the 2 of them. Dad, can I ask you something? Anything, baby. That day at the diner. When you saved Emma. Did you think about me? Tom put down his fork. Every second. You were all I thought about. Then why did you do it? Why risk leaving me alone? Tom reached across the table and took her hand. Because, Sarah, I thought about how I'd feel if you were in danger. If some stranger could save you but chose not to because it was risky. I'd hate that person. I'd curse them. So how could I be that person? How could I let Emma die when I had the power to save her? But you almost died. I know. And I'm sorry for scaring you. But I'm not sorry for saving her. Because Emma deserved to live. Just like you deserve to live. All children do. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I was so scared. When you closed your eyes. When the ambulance came. I thought you were gone forever. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Promise? I promise. I survived 3 bullets. I'm too stubborn to die now. Sarah laughed through her tears. She got up and hugged him. I love you, Dad. You're my hero. You're my hero too. You're brave and kind and smart. Everything I wish I could be. You're all those things already. Tom held his daughter. This beautiful young woman she was becoming. He'd do it all again. Take 100 bullets if it meant keeping her safe. If it meant teaching her that love means sacrifice. That real strength is protecting those who can't protect themselves. People asked Tom about that day. Reporters. Neighbors. Strangers who heard the story. They called him a hero. Brave. Courageous. Tom always said the same thing. I'm just a dad. Because that was the truth. Heroes aren't special people with superpowers. They're ordinary people who choose to act when it matters most. Tom worked at a diner. He couldn't fight. Couldn't shoot. Didn't have training or weapons or backup. But he had love. And sometimes love is the strongest weapon. He loved Sarah so much that he understood another father's love for his daughter. He saw Emma and saw every child who deserved protection. He saw Raymond's desperation and recognized his own. 3 bullets couldn't stop that love. Pain couldn't. Fear couldn't. That's what made Tom extraordinary. Not his strength or courage. But his capacity to love beyond himself. To see a stranger's child and think, my child. To risk everything for someone he'd never met. When Sarah turned 18, she wrote an essay for her college application. The prompt asked about someone who influenced her life. She wrote about her father. About a single dad who worked double shifts to keep food on the table. Who never missed a school play or parent-teacher conference. Who helped with homework even when he was exhausted. But mostly, she wrote about the day he took 3 bullets. My father taught me that love isn't just a feeling, she wrote. It's action. It's sacrifice. It's stepping between danger and innocence without thinking about the cost. People call my father a hero. But he's more than that. He's proof that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they lead with their hearts. She got into every college she applied to. Full scholarships. The essay moved admission officers to tears. But Sarah chose a local college. So she could stay close to her dad. So she could have dinner with him every week. So she could keep saying, I love you, and hearing him say it back. Because some heroes don't need capes or fame. They just need to know their sacrifices mattered. That the children they saved grew up safe and loved. Tom still had that coffee mug. World's best dad. It was chipped now. Faded. The lettering barely visible after years of use. But Tom wouldn't replace it. It reminded him of what mattered. Not the bullets or the scars or the pain. But Sarah. Always Sarah. Every morning, he drank coffee from that mug. He looked at the 3 scars on his chest in the mirror. Each one a reminder. 1. Love is stronger than fear. 2. Children are worth dying for. 3. Heroes aren't born. They're made in moments when ordinary people do impossible things. Tom kissed the scars. Not because he was proud of them. But because they represented a choice. The most important choice he'd ever made. To be the person who steps forward when others step back. To be the father not just to his own child, but to all children who needed protection. Emma was 20 now. In college. Studying to be a teacher. She wanted to protect children too. Educate them. Give them safe spaces to grow. Raymond had been out of gang life for years. His garage was successful. He employed ex-gang members. Gave them second chances. Clean work. Honest pay. All because one man showed him what real strength looked like. Sarah was in medical school. Top of her class. She wanted to be an emergency room doctor. To save lives like her father saved lives. 3 bullets had changed everything. Not just for Tom. But for everyone connected to that moment. On Sarah's graduation day from college, Tom sat in the audience. His chest hurt. The old wounds acting up in the cold auditorium. But he smiled. Sarah walked across the stage. Beautiful. Confident. Alive. She gave a speech as class valedictorian. Tom listened, tears streaming down his face. My father taught me that heroes don't need powers, Sarah said. They need purpose. When I was 8, I watched my father take 3 bullets protecting a little girl he'd never met. I didn't understand it then. I was angry. Scared. I thought he'd chosen a stranger over me. Sarah's voice cracked. She looked at Tom in the audience. But now I understand. My father didn't choose between me and Emma. He chose for both of us. He chose to live in a world where children are protected. Where fathers love so deeply that they'd die for any child. Not just their own. The audience was silent. Some people cried. My father showed me that love multiplies. It doesn't divide. When he saved Emma, he didn't love me less. He loved more. Bigger. Better. He showed me that real love expands to include everyone who needs it. Sarah finished her speech. The audience stood. Applauded. Cheered. But she only looked at Tom. Mouthed 3 words. I love you. Tom mouthed them back. I love you too. 10 years after that terrible day at the diner, Tom went back. The new owners had renovated. New booths. New paint. But the counter was the same. Tom sat where he'd wrestled the bearded man. Where he'd taken the first bullet. The waitress brought coffee. You want anything else? No. Just coffee. Tom looked around. Saw the spot where Sarah had done homework. The booth where Raymond and Emma sat. The floor where Tom had bled out, thinking he'd die. But he didn't die. He lived. And in living, he'd changed lives. Saved them. Inspired them. A young couple came in with their daughter. Maybe 7 years old. She had a pink backpack. Reminded Tom of Emma. The parents seemed stressed. Arguing quietly. The little girl looked sad. Tom stood up. Walked over. Excuse me. I don't mean to intrude. But I just wanted to say something. The parents looked up. Annoyed at first. Then curious. Whatever you're going through, Tom said. Whatever problems you have. Look at your daughter. Really look at her. She's the most important thing. More important than money or pride or being right. She needs you. Both of you. Together. The mother's eyes filled with tears. How did you know? I'm a father. I know what matters. And what doesn't. Tom paid for their meal. Left a big tip. Walked out. He'd learned that lesson at a high price. 3 bullets worth of wisdom. But it was worth it. Because children deserve parents who love them more than anything. Who'd take bullets for them. Who'd sacrifice everything to keep them safe. Tom Patterson never became famous. His story didn't make national news. No movies were made about him. He lived a simple life. Worked hard. Loved his daughter. Drank coffee from a chipped mug that said, "World's Best Dad." But the people whose lives he touched never forgot him. Raymond named his garage, Tom's Place, in honor of the man who changed his life. Emma became a teacher. She told her students about the stranger who'd saved her. Who'd shown her that true heroes are ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Sarah became a doctor. She saved countless lives. And every time she did, she thought of her father. The man who taught her that love means action. Sacrifice. Courage. And Tom. He kept those 3 scars. Wore them like medals. Not with pride, but with purpose. They reminded him that he'd lived a life that mattered. That in one moment, he'd chosen love over fear. A stranger's child over his own safety. The hard right over the easy wrong. That's what heroes do. Not because they're special. But because they're human. And humanity, at its best, is beautiful. Tom Patterson took 3 bullets. But he gave the world something more valuable. Hope. Proof that good people exist. That fathers will fight for all children. That love conquers even death. And in the end, that's the greatest story ever told. Not about superheroes or warriors or gods. But about a single dad who worked in a diner and loved his daughter so much that he couldn't let another father's daughter die. 3 bullets. 1 man. Infinite love. That's the story of Tom Patterson. The world's best dad.